She's being recorded. Great. Okay. So, I will be completely honest. I haven't finished all the way to where we were supposed to. I did, but then I fell asleep and I went a little further. So I'm like somewhere where we're supposed to be and somewhere not, but I have the general context of it all and can pretty much work with it. Are you hearing an echo at all? Okay. Maggie.
There's a little tiny bit of an echo, like after you
I hear it
finish your
too, but I
full
think it's just
sentence.
us. I think it's just us. Oh, and then Natasha come up. Okay. So we are going. Oh, why the hell won't everybody stay where they're supposed to stay? And if I don't do it in alphabetical order, I leave people out all the time. Maybe it just doesn't want to stay in alphabetical order. It's just like deviant. Okay, fuck it. We're going this way. Okay. So we're going to start with announcing the book, which I had the little paper, but that's okay. We're doing Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. Oh, here comes Laura, so she'll probably pop in my background. No, she didn't. That's weird. The laptop doesn't do that. Here's what we're covering. Yay! So this is the book cover, and we covered all the way to the middle, well, a third of the book. So it's split it up in 14 different sections, 14 different chapters to get 3 sections. And we're going to start with Nikki because she's at the bottom. And my questions are your favorite quotes. And then if you don't have any of those, I have 2 questions for you.
Give me a second. I was answering Tara. All right. What were the questions?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Do you have any favorite quotes?
I did actually.
I did too.
Like, it's surprising because doesn't happen to me often. One of the quotes I had was, she pats her face dry, blinking at the reflection in the powder room mirror. The nitwits have been her friends for years, and sometimes she still feels as if she's a mistaken jigsaw piece who found her way into the wrong puzzle. I have had so many groups of friends that I felt like that until I met you guys.
Oh, love. You hit me in the feels. This book club makes forever friends. I think it's the way it's ran. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm just really happy it's that way.
It is, though, because like I tried when I first moved here to Columbus, I tried, like the mom groups and stuff, and I never felt like I fit in there ever.
A lot of people who've been to this book club have the dog. A lot of people have had other book clubs, including Mary, who has 2. And one's at a bookstore, and then one it's just like her 4 best friends, and it's still not the same as this book club. So it happens a lot. Okay, so my first question for you is, if you could communicate and befriend any aquatic creature, what would it be and why?
Any aquatic creature. Well, considering I have 2 aquatic creatures on my body, I would choose either an octopus or a shark. Those are my 2 favorites.
I'm curious about the shark. I know a lot of people would pick an octopus. So tell me about like what shark and why.
It would honestly probably be along the lines of like maybe a nurse shark or one of the gentler sharks. I feel like sharks are so misunderstood. And like they're absolutely just trying to survive. They don't go out and just want to eat people. Like I love sharks.
I have a fascination for them. I love to watch Shark Week. So I totally get it. And I was just curious why.
Yeah. Like one of my bucket list goals is I want to go swimming with sharks. I want to go into one of those cages and go down with sharks.
Okay. Have you seen 40 Foot Under?
Yes, I have. I still want to do it.
You still want to do it? Absolutely. Everyone asks me that question every single time I say I want to do it. But I still do. I'm just fascinated. I've swam with stingrays. So, but yeah, I totally would. And then the other question came from you, which I think is really, really cool. In that was there's a group of older ladies and a knitting club, and they always bring treats. What's one treat that is your go-to to take to a get-together, or if you host it even, what would you serve?
So, and I actually haven't done this in a while, and I've been meaning to have like a reason to do it. But growing up, we have a tradition of making it's called the Jimmy Carter cake. It is
Ooh,
essentially a dessert with a peanut crust, and then you have layers of peanut butter cream cheese, chocolate pudding, Cool Whip, peanut butter cream cheese, and you just keep going, and you essentially make a layered cake, and then top it with crushed peanuts.
okay, as somebody who loves peanuts and peanut butter, that would be my jam. I would very much enjoy this. Yes. Uh-huh.
It was my mom's go-to for years at all of our get-togethers. Everybody always requested it, so she taught me how to make it.
It's also super unique. I've never heard of the recipe. So that's also really cool. So you know you're not bringing something somebody else is bringing.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I don't even know where she got it, but it's a recipe we've had in the family for years.
That's also really cool too. How about you, Leanne? Did you have any favorite quote?
Anytime that he essentially was like, but you're just human, made me giggle and made me laugh.
He is so condescending. Yeah, but I love his personality. I really do. But he is so condescending and so like mystified by how dumb or like simple
Hmm.
humans are. And in a way it's super relatable. Um, okay, so first question, if you could become besties with an aquatic animal, what would it be?
It would probably be the octopus or a dolphin, something with intelligence to make it like have those conversations, just be like actually have interactions with that are not just, oh, look, it's a fish.
Well, the all of them can, so in this preface, they all can talk.
Fair and valid.
You can communicate with them in any way, but you're right. You probably would with your intellectual level and the way that you like to converse. An octopus would probably be the closest to, and sharks are supposed to be extremely smart too, would
Hmm.
probably be an excellent choice. And then if you could bring any dessert or if you're hosting, what would you do?
So I know I said Rice Krispie treats earlier, but not store-bought. Fuck store-bought Rice Krispie treats. They don't have enough marshmallows.
Right.
But my mom does a peanut butter pie. The crust has a peanut butter layer to it, and then it's like this vanilla that I like. I know I could get the recipe for and be like, I need to make this. Please send it to me because my mom has a list of recipes from desserts that I could probably change it up every 30 seconds.
Yeah, you should try to collect it and make a little recipe book out of it. That would be fun.
I
Why did
have a
they
recipe
never
10
do
somewhere.
that? I wish they would have, but they never did. But I know Laura's mom made one for her and a box of old recipes, and Gwen has some from her grandma. Like I wish my family did. We never did anything like that. I find that you're and Nikki both are peanut butter lovers
Hmm.
in the same way as me. So Terry, I know you haven't read anything, so I'm not going to ask about any favorite quotes. But as far as an aquatic bestie, who would we pick?
Well, so I actually did read a little bit of it, and then I was like, I'm not gonna get through this, so I watched the movie. So now I'm
Okay.
all fucked up. Like I have no idea what happened in the book, what didn't happen in the book. And I watched the whole thing. So I'm not gonna comment on anything because even though Nikki told me what happened, like I have no idea where that was in the book or in the movie. So
Yeah,
it,
I've heard they're very different.
it
Just in the way the events happen. So
yeah,
content similar, the way it transpires different.
yeah.
So that's interesting. I do want to watch the movie, but I want to watch it after I finish the book. But if you had an aquatic bestie, Would you have a particular one that you have like an attachment to or want to?
It would be an otter.
Oh my God, who would not want to be friends with those fuzzy little creatures that give pebbles?
I need an otter in my life so bad. And when my husband and I went to California in February to renew our vows, we both got matching otter tattoos. So
Oh,
I finally got my otter tattoo.
oh my gosh, I love that they hold hands when they fall asleep so they don't drift apart
I
and that they
know.
give each other, and they have like a little pocket for the pebble built in. Like, oh my God. Yeah, they were top on in my top three. And then what treat would you bring?
Um, what treat would I bring? I'm trying to think of probably just brownies.
Oh, I love homemade brownies. I love how crusty they get around the edges. It's my favorite part.
Yeah, I
Um,
like to eat around the edges, and my husband eats the middle, so our pans look really fun when we make brownies.
uh-huh. I love the crispy parts. They're the best for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love brownies too. There probably isn't a sweet treat that's going to be mentioned that I'm not going to absolutely be like, can we have that now? Um, Udi, how about you, love? So have you made any, because I haven't heard, have you made any progress on the book?
Oh yeah, I'm caught up. I
Oh,
think
what?
I'm actually a little ahead. I thought it was 1309.
Oh, that's wonderful. So did you find any quotes that you enjoyed?
It was like the last thing that he said. I can't remember exactly because I decided to do the audio book.
Me
Um,
too.
but it was something that he had said and it made me laugh. It was really funny. I love the octopus. He cracks me up.
It's a very endearing creature. Is really hard not to, although not my favorite, but definitely can see why it appeals to everyone. And then what kind of treat would you bring?
Probably my blueberry muffins.
Ooh, oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, that would be a wonderful brunch or even dinner. um yeah, absolutely would be phenomenal. um
That's exactly what I was thinking, Nikki. He reminds me of Hank from Finding Dory.
oh
That's
yeah.
probably why I like him so much because I really liked Hank in Finding Dory.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, absolutely. um I love those movies. Natasha, how about you? Did you have any favorite quotes? I know you got the book. I
I
saw that.
did.
And you figured out the order, which I also
Hmm.
was like, are we going backward in days? Did I mess up the order? But then when I saw Leanne's explanation, I'm like, oh no, no, I'm just crazy. So
Um, yes, my favorite quote so far was when they were talking about him being a smart cookie. And he said, I am smart, but I am not a snack object dispensed from a packaged food machine. What a preposterous thing to say. I cackled. I
yes,
cackled.
oh, total smart ass, condescending, so hilarious. I'm like, oh my God. And then aquatic best, or no, yeah, what would be your aquatic bestie?
Sharks, hand down. Not even, I got a shark tattooed on my arm. Like, I love my sharks.
What
Um,
is the pull to them?
they're sea puppies. I just want to boop their snoots and pet them and love them and just give them all of the cuddles, specifically great white and
Yeah.
hammerhead. Bull sharks can fuck off. They're the wasps of the shark world. But
Okay,
whale sharks and great whites and hammerheads for sure.
would definitely be your jam. And then what would you bring for a snack?
So I for any family gathering, I bring better than sex cake. And
Ooh.
it is a homemade German chocolate cake topped with, and then when it comes out, we pour sweetened condensed milk over it.
Uh-huh.
We let it cool, and then we top it with homemade whipped cream, caramel drizzle, and crushed up Heath bars.
Okay, you got me with caramel drizzle. I'm definitely down to try this. Absolutely. Sounds delicious.
It's
Um,
super moist and it's super yummy. There's never anything left over.
Yeah, I also like things like that where you put the condensed milk in and it gets cool, and then when you take a bite, you can like taste it in every bite. Maggie, did you have any favorite quotes?
I did not. I'm listening to the audiobook. And I was talking to Dex about this a little bit today, that like I'm struggling because it's placed in Puget Sound, but it's a fictional town, but it has like specific directional clues that are not functioning with the way my brain works.
Uh-huh.
I know I'm not the only one. And I know
No,
Cecily,
you're not.
it's bothering her too.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I
I
gotta
really
say
have to
something.
listen.
Modesto and Stockton are literally on the other sides of my town that I live in.
Are you serious?
I work in Modesto. I used to live in Stockton. Manteca is right in the middle, and that is where I live.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's when you said that, Maggie. I was like, oh my God, that's right. I'm like fictional, and I'm like, where is this place?
I love that. I had no idea. We're always learning something new. If you could have an aquatic bestie, what would it be?
So I was gonna say otters, which is still probably my number one answer, but if we're picking something that's a little less like obvious, a moon snail, which is native to the Puget Sound.
Yeah.
Um, I'm obsessed with them. I was obsessed with them as a kid, because you can always find where they have been feeding because there's holes in the clams that they've been eating. And like I just was obsessed with them. They're weird slugs, snail creatures under the water, but they're pretty-ish for a
They
slug.
are pretty. I actually was looking at because I wanted to do something unique and some because I wanted to do something original, and they were on the list. They can like their colors are different, and like they're actually quite adaptable, and they live longer than most, and like
They're also
very
seasonal.
interesting for like snail-like creature. I wasn't expecting it to be on like one of the most unique. And then if you were going to take a snack, what would you take?
Jameson knows this. I normally don't bring sweets. I tend to be a savory person.
Okay.
Much more
Yeah.
like do like a lasagna or a bolognese
Ooh,
or like something Italian and apt to make
decadent.
you fall asleep.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm also on an ice cream kick right now. Jameson got me into making ice cream at home. And so that's my new favorite thing to do is make protein ice cream at home.
So do you have an ice cream maker?
Yeah,
Okay.
I have
Yeah,
one of the Ninja
would
Creams.
invest in this because I'm lactose intolerant and I could use oat and almond milk to make my own flavored ice cream. That's a really good idea. And then side note for you, this might embarrass Gwen just a little, um, but really cute fun fact. Gwen has recently, since I have started to wear glasses, you recently had a TikTok or a reel talking about a book, and you started off without your glasses.
Really?
Then you put your glasses on, and she's like, okay, did the hot factor just increase like by 75% when the glasses went on? Or do I just like girls in glasses? I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, there's definitely an appeal there. I love women in glasses too. But yeah, you the intellect, it's almost like your personality changes when you put them on. Like a new, intelligent, like really sophisticated persona starts to pop out. Yeah, very, very cute. But you're one of the very first women in real life and celebrity that Gwen has ever said, wow, this is like very beautiful. So I thought you would want to know that because that's unique to her personality. She never does that other than Mary Lambert.
I'm
Uh,
glad somebody enjoyed that video because my husband, I told him to watch it and he was like, babe, you realize you do this to me all of the time, right? I know all of these books. I get
still
subject to
though.
this all of
Oh,
the time. I was like, rude, but you will be watching it, so
yes,
shut
yes.
up.
I make Gwen and Laura reread my posts and watch my TikToks to make sure there are no errors, and neither one of them find them. And I'm like, there's a Maligan here. Yeah. So, Laura, did you have any favorite quotes?
I did.
Oh, let me mute me. Hold on. Doing a bit.
Okay. How delicate those wounds were back then, how little it took to nudge the scabs out of place and start the bleeding anew.
That, yeah. I have yet to feel that feeling in a long time, so I'm jealous of that. I can definitely, I hope for that. Bestie aquatic animal.
Penguins.
Do you care to share why?
Well, one, they mate for life. Two, the male presents the best pebble he can find to attract his mate. And I am a collector of rocks, always have been since I was a child. They do not have to be gemstones, even if they're just cool rocks. I came home one summer with a big ass bag of just random rocks from the mountain. So
I've been told when I was heavier, I waddled like a penguin, so that might be part of the appeal. And what dessert would you bring?
ever since I was a kid, we've always made a dessert. They're called magic bars. I take them everywhere. And it's literally graham crackers on the bottom, covered with condensed milk, chocolate chips, throw it in the oven, and they are amazing. They're my favorite.
I've yet only a year and a half dating, never had it, but and then you take them everywhere. It's interesting. They have dairy in them. Karen, I just wanted to give you a shout out and how phenomenal your health journey is going and how absolutely gorgeous you looked in the dress you posted on Facebook. And also can relate and coming out of your comfort zone and trying to find clothes that okay, 50 pounds is a lot. My body shape has changed drastically. Things aren't going to fit the same. How am I going to look? I just wanted to let you know you looked absolutely stunning. Definitely should be your signature color. And I'm so happy for you because I know 50 pounds doesn't sound like a lot, but I swear carry around a 50-pound bag of potatoes for a day. And when you put that sucker down, you have huge relief. So, bravo.
Thank you.
I know how much hard work goes into that. And then did you have any favorite quotes?
I don't. This is a reread for me.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So I have read this and I have seen the movie. So I'm trying not to say anything that I that will anything. But I don't have any quotes.
Okay. Aquatic bestie.
Dolphins.
Oh, they're so sweet.
And I got to swim with them one time. Yeah, I did do the swimming with the dolphins, and that was so much fun.
Oh, they are the sweetest animals. Although I've heard can be aggressively will defend what they love, and can actually fight up against a shark. I feel like they're a little misunderstood, but they're so sweet and they try to talk. So I love that. Yes. And then what dessert would you bring, or any kind of to a party?
Actually, I don't do desserts very often, but I actually like to bring fried chicken to parties.
Really?
Yes.
Do you make it you make fried chicken at home?
No, I'll just go buy it.
That's a good one though. I can't really think of anybody who eats chicken that doesn't love fried chicken, so that would be fun. And then Jameson, did you have any favorite quotes?
There we go. I had one that I can remember. The other one I can't remember. He was talking. He said, "Secrets are everywhere. Some humans are crammed full of them. How do they not explode? It seems to be a hallmark of the human species. Abysmal communication skills."
That was one of mine, of course. Because we keep our cards very close to our chest unless we know you very, very well. Not
Yeah.
that we had the same quote saved. And then, what snack or treat would you bring?
Well, I guess Laura's bringing magic bars, so that's like if I'm short on time, that's usually my go-to. Because the other thing that I love to make takes so long. But my grandma used to make this apple stack cake, and it takes a while. Like you have to make it's these really thin layers of cake, and you layer it between like apple filling, and you like the longer it sits in your refrigerator, like it just gets like softer and better. And I think it's an Appalachian thing. I've never seen it
Well,
anywhere
I've heard.
else.
Yeah, my family. Go on.
So that if I have time, I love to make that because it looks so fancy, and I like the process of making it, I
So,
guess.
on top of being gorgeous, brilliant writer, we also cook.
Their
Because
biscuits and gravy are so fucking good. They changed my fucking life. Sorry.
That's
it's
like one
because
of Laura's favorite
I
foods.
think that I like cooking because it's mindful. So like I always tell people that like cooking is art, baking is science. So
Yeah,
like
I get that all the
if I
time.
just want to go in the kitchen and throw something together, I like to cook. Like, oh, what is in my cupboards? But if I am stressed, I will bake because you have to pay attention and you have to focus. So when I get stressed, I like to bake.
Yeah, she does that all the time. She's an amazing cook, but not the great. She doesn't think she's a great baker, because of the science behind it. So that's interesting.
And I know everybody thought that I was going to pick an octopus, but I'm not. Just to be different.
Really? I'm fascinated.
No, I mean, I love them, but so there's this whale that lives off the coast of the United States, and there are only 350 of them left. And they're called it's the Pacific right whale. And there's this entire movement of like the Coast Guard and the people that work there trying to save them because they get hit by boats or they get tangled in like fishing nets. And there are videos of these whales like you think, how are you going to get in the water and untangle a whale? But they literally are intelligent enough to know that like these people are trying to help me. So they will like, you can see the whales like watching these people untangle them and then like circling them and then swimming away. It is the coolest thing. They're just, I love them so much.
That's so interesting because after I did the unique, I did the smartest because I wanted something to really converse with, and that was on it. And I was like, really? I didn't know that they were specific to that genre. Of course, the octopus is at the top of the list, but I can see why that would be appealing. Definitely. Gwen, so did you have any favorite quotes? Oh, and I'm
No,
sorry
I didn't.
for making you bashful, but you don't give compliments to women often.
I'm used to it.
I really wanted to give a shout out.
Thanks.
But anyway, did you have any favorite quotes?
No, I didn't.
Okay. And did you think about what kind of aquatic? Because I think aquatic animals are your absolute favorite, and you wear a bracelet that my aunt got you for Christmas of a penguin that's your best friend that you actually follow on a map and watch what he does all day. So I know you love penguins, but if you had to pick one to be besties with.
So I love penguins. I like to watch them. I like Laura. They like to mate for life, and stuff like that. And I love the rock giving thing that they do. When I traveled the whole United States in a car for 3 months, I collected rocks from every state I went to.
Uh,
Um, so but honestly, like if I'm gonna like have fun, I want it to be a seal. I love seals. When I go to anywhere that has seals, I spend my whole time and all of my money buying fish to feed the seals. And I play with them from the moment they're there to the moment they have their break time. But
yeah.
if I want to be
They can
peaceful,
be
I like
mean too.
jellyfish.
Uh-huh.
Huh?
They can be mean too. They can be aggressive, but there's still a lot of fun.
Yeah, they don't tend to be aggressive unless they're,
Attack.
aggravated. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I've watched lots of seal videos and been to a lot of aquariums that have them. But jellyfish also I feel really peaceful with. I'll sit in a with a whole area of jellyfish and just sit there for a while, and I'm not one to focus very long. So I really enjoy those two. So I couldn't really pick one.
It's hard to pick one. They're mesmerizing. I also agree. I wouldn't want to become best friends with one, but I am mesmerized by them. They're beautiful. And then I'm curious about what snack, because you are a sweet connoisseur to the point like you eat a donut a day to keep the doctor away. So, like, what would you take?
Well, my favorite is strawberry shortcake, but the strawberries can't have sugar on them. They have to be like unsugared with a really good homemade whipped cream. That's probably one of my favorites. To really have year round. I love that one. I also
Oh,
like the strawberry crunch ice cream cake. So
oh
that
my
would be
God.
another
Yeah,
one.
we did that for your birthday one year. It's like the popsicles that you get or those things, and they make a whole cake out of it, which is really, really good. And it melts fast. It's not like a Dairy Queen cake. Like you got to eat that sucker quickly, but it's good. It's really good. Yeah, that would be fun. Both really good choices. So for me, I had two, Jameson said one of them. But my other, the one that hit me the most in the fields, was, and this is who I connect to most, which probably won't be shocking for you guys, but um, Tova wonders sometimes if it's better that way to have one strategies clustered together to make good use of the existing rawness. Get it over with in one shot. Tova knew there was a bottom to those depths of despair. Once your soul was soaked through with grief, any more simply runs off. Overflow, the way maple syrup on Saturday morning pancakes always cascaded onto the table whenever Eric was allowed to pour it himself. With all my family members and my dog and all that, you guys know the story, everybody dying together. I wonder how bad that grief would be if it was spread out with like 9 different people dying. So I kind of really related to that. And then the other one was Tova has always felt more than a bit of empathy for the sharks. With their never ending laps around the tank, she understands what it means to never be able to stop moving, lest you find yourself unable to breathe. So when I'm really stressed, if I don't keep something going or myself, I just, it's not good. It's straight panic for me. And then this took a lot of thought. And I never even knew what these creatures were. I was having a really bad day after therapy, and I got in the car, and Gwen had gotten me a little black axolotl. Am I saying that right? Axolotl. And they are so cute. They're part of the salamanders. What I love about them, though, is they have these little frilly gills, and they constantly smile. And they never grow up. So they're like me. So they're like Peter Pan. They're constantly stuck in like a teenage age, which I love. And they're super healing, which is always my superpower. But if they lose, they're like a starfish. If they lose a leg, tail, or even part of their heart or brain, it grows back a new one. So that's why I chose that one. And then, oddly enough, nobody close to me other than my sister Mary knew this about me, but my absolute favorite restaurant is La Chalane, the French restaurant. And if I was going to take or host, it would be creme brulee. It's my favorite dessert in the whole world. I know it's fancy and it would be hard to transport. But if I was going to transport it, I may do macaroons. But it would definitely be creme brulee. So now we're going to hop into questions. And I have several sections and I'm going to hop around to them. So the first section is about loneliness and connection. And we're going to start back with Gwen. And have you ever felt invisible, even while surrounded by people? And what did that feel like for you?
I like being invisible. So that's not something that bothers me. Like if I had a choice to have a magical power, it would be to be invisible. So
Like
that's
the
not something really,
invisibility cloak?
huh?
Like the invisibility cloak?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
So
get that.
I've been invisible a bit through my life, but that's of my own doing.
Okay. I don't see that in you at all. But I think from your own point of view, I mean, I know you want to be invisible, you just aren't. You're very noticeable and people come up to you all the time.
I'm not invisible anymore. I grew up more invisible. It was a safety mechanism.
Oh, I get that. Okay, that makes total sense. Okay, Jameson, we're moving on to a different section called grief and moving forward. So the question is, Tova is still carrying grief years later. Do you think grief ever truly ends, or do we just simply adapt in our brains on how to carry it differently?
I think we carry it differently. Like, I don't think that it necessarily gets easier with time. I just think that we learn how to carry it. Like, there are times when I will see something that reminds me of my dad, or something will just hit me the wrong way and it'll really get me. But like that actual emotion of grief, like that I've worked through and let go of, is not there anymore. I think if we do the work, it gets lighter to carry, but it's still there. I think
It
that's
does. It really does. In fact, EMDR, as soon as you have a loss, was exceptionally healing for me. For Penny Lane when she passed. The work is worth it. And they have a place called Center for Hope here in Columbus that's free. You can go in and they have tons of grief and hospice counselors for just about every religion denomination in case anybody ever wanted to seek out that resource. Karen, we're going to move to the next section with identity and self-worth. Cameron often feels like he doesn't belong anywhere. Have you ever gone through a season in life where you weren't sure where you fit in?
Several times in my life, actually. So, um, you know, I guess maybe one I can think of is when I first met my husband and then I met his kids, and it was a hard adjustment for me to be in their lives because their dad had not been with somebody in a while, and you know, there was some resentment from at least one of my daughters, of the fact that I was in her life, and it took us a while to get used to that.
In my head, it sounds so joyous because it's something I've always wanted. But when I sit down and think about, you didn't just gain this new person to love, you gained this giant new responsibility and family.
Mhm.
And trying to find your place in that had to have been daunting. Like it had to have taken navigation, especially with children.
Right.
You know,
and it was, their mom was still alive at the time, and then for the daughters, their mom was still alive, and she passed away 5 years after we got married. So, and then having to go into that new role of now, okay, now I'm the
right?
primary mother, but I can't take the place of their mom. So,
Right. I wish Brenna was here to hear that. That would be very relatable. Hopefully she'll get to watch the video. But yeah, she kind of goes through that and deals with that a lot. Laura, I know Floki is driving you absolutely insane. I can hear it. Do you want to answer a question? Are you cool? Thumbs up. We're groovy. Okay. We're going to move on to the next section, which is identity and self-worth. Oh no, I need to delete that. I asked that Karen that. Okay. The next one is trust in relationships. Which is harder for you and why? Asking for help or having help imposed on you and accepting it without resistance?
Oh, well, I don't handle either of those well. Um, although I have learned to ask for help now, as difficult as that is, I would say having it imposed on me is harder. To have somebody just come in and be like, I'm doing this is harder. I need to be able to ask for it, not be forced into it. I don't like to be forced to do it. So,
I think I'm the complete opposite. If it's not absolutely forced upon me, it's not happening. And I don't like either. But I'm always grateful after. Like, and I don't think there's a time that somebody's helped me where I've been like, I wish they didn't. But I'm never gonna, it just isn't me. But totally understandable. Maggie, my question from you comes from what would you do if placed in this situation? If you had experienced the kind of loss that Tova has, do you think you would throw yourself into work or seek comfort from your closest people?
I would probably do both. But that's largely because my work and like personal lives are very intersected. And my work is very much a part of my personal life. So I would probably throw myself into something that gave me joy and gave me focus. Um, but also like I am somebody who has had a significant amount of loss in my life and am very much a prophylactic person at this point. Like I know if things are going dark that like we have to call the therapist and we have to start setting things up and we have to start like, okay, fine, let's batten down the hatches. Deal like the crazy times have come to get through it because like I've been there before and I it's not fun, right?
I
Like
didn't know that about you. So you said you've had you know that about me. I've had like 5 boyfriends die and my entire family, but 2 people. I didn't know that you've had a lot of loss too.
yeah, it's actually one of the things that my husband and I bonded over. Very proud of
Really?
our relationship that like both of us um have had a lot of loss in our lives.
Well,
Um
thank you for sharing something vulnerable. I had no idea that you had gone through that yourself. Um, that explains a lot of your strength. a lot of it. We are going to do a lightning round now because we're halfway through. And we're going to start at the bottom with Nikki. Hold on, let me find the little lightning round. Okay, here we go. So one or the other, as usual. If you had to reside for the rest of your life, ocean or forest?
Oh, that's so hard.
These are always hard, girl.
I grew up in the forest, but I love the ocean too.
I know.
Oh God. I'm gonna have to go forest because that's natural for me. I know how to survive in the forest. I know how to do all the things in the forest. So
I thought that possibly, but I know how much you love sunshine and water, so I was torn.
But I can get lakes and stuff in the forest too, and I'm used to that. I'm used to lakes and creeks and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, Leanne, are you busy? You're laughing. You okay?
Fuck you, Maggie.
Oh, Maggie.
Okay, continue. Go ahead. She pointed out Pacific Northwest because you get both ocean and forest at the same time, and then she cackles in bisexual, and I'm like, I'm just dying. Anyway, continue.
That's okay. Okay. So if one of these creatures had to be with you all the time, you had to carry it everywhere with you. And let's say just for like, I don't know, practicality's sake, they're the same size. And you could communicate with it. Jellyfish or octopus?
Octopus.
So the octopus. Okay.
The octopus isn't going to accidentally sting me.
Yeah, possibly, but it's your best friend, so probably not try to harm you.
But I'm super hyper, and I could imagine me just accidentally startling it and then all of a sudden getting stung.
This is always a possibility, always, but that can happen with an octopus too, and a lot more harm can come from that. But I get it completely. I also, as beautiful as jellyfish are, I would choose an octopus.
Octopus also probably give better hugs.
Probably, but you could put the jellyfish like, on your shoulder, like upside down. You know how like Dory bongs off of all of them? Tara, so you have to choose. You get the opportunity for 5 years to go completely down to the bottom of the sea level and explore, or go anywhere in outer space and explore for 5 years. So like find the unknown things. Which one would you pick?
That's hard because I know those little creepy things that are at the bottom of the ocean, those little like fish with the dangly things on their heads and the creepy teeth that I don't want any part of. I probably would choose space.
I feel like space is the safer option. I'm very curious of what is lurking. I'm hoping I would find Atlantis. But yeah, absolutely. It's definitely the safer option, in my opinion. At least we know something about what's up there. Udi, have a long life and live to be 100, or stay 30 for an indefinite amount of time. So we don't know how long, but it would be a good amount of time. Which would you prefer? To grow old all the way to 100, or live it up in your 30s for like
I want to live it up in my 30s. Let's go.
Yes. I don't want to go over 70. I really don't. I don't really don't. Just don't. I've seen what happens, and it's just not a fun time. I totally agree. 100%.
I am sitting Indian style right now, and I guarantee you in like 5 minutes, I'm not going to be able to walk.
Yeah. Definitely.
I wouldn't make it to 100.
I don't want any more suffering.
Yeah.
And I feel like aging every year brings a new piece of like loss of youth, which also brings some suffering. So I don't want any more of that. Natasha, know your future or have the ability at any time to go back and change your past, and it would change your current state as well.
The past. I don't want to know my future.
I think we've discussed this. I want to ask you another one because I remember you saying that. Be understood and communicate with animals or speak every human language.
The first one.
Mm-hmm.
Animals. I would be an amazing supervillain.
Oh my God. Can you imagine? Absolutely. Maggie, never feel lonely again or never have to feel regret.
Regret, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really get lonely. I kind of grew up as a lonely kid and like am kind of introverted. And so like if I get lonely, I go find a book.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
No, this is true. This is how I feel too. I don't really experience that emotion. I do have an immense amount of regret and guilt. Like that hurts. But I'm not a lonely human. And I know some people feel lonely in a room full of people. So I was curious. Okay, Laura. Have every answer to every question or have one perfect question that you want to know more than anything in the world answered.
I'm going to go the one perfect question.
That's hard because I constantly ask why. That's very hard for me. Yeah, I would struggle. Karen, start over completely and or like from birth, knowing what you know now, or relive your happiest years.
Start over from the beginning.
From scratch. Me too. Jameson, spend one day. Oh, this is so funny. It landed on you. Spend one day talking with an octopus, getting you to ask any questions, or spend one day flying on the back of an eagle, getting to see the world from that angle.
I think the octopus.
Mm-hmm. Would be fascinating. Gwen, you get this one superpower. Always know when someone is lying, or always know how everyone is feeling despite what they present and say.
Feeling.
Okay. And I never do
Definitely.
these for me. And my therapist has called me out on it, and the marriage counselor's called me out on it, and then some of you have too. So I'll ask myself one. Keep every memory you've ever had or erase your worst one. I'm going to erase my worst one. That would be mine. Okay, so back to the questions. And we're starting with Natasha, and we're going back to our first section, which is okay, loneliness in connection. Okay, Nova has created a life for herself built around routine. Do routines help us heal, or can they sometimes keep us from truly living and not healing, in your opinion?
My personal opinion, I think routines help. In the therapist's opinion, I think that it can also hinder as much as it can help because it can definitely be used as a tool to not deal with the emotions and to not deal with the feelings. But I don't like dealing with the feelings and emotions, so I would rather just throw myself into work and not do anything.
Like I said, I keep myself as occupied as possible. If I stop moving, I have to feel. But you're right, routine is really therapeutic. And everyone suggests it. Udi, from grief and moving forward. Let's see, here we go. Have you ever pushed people away because it felt easier than risking the possibility of either disappointing them or losing them?
All the time. It's a bad habit.
Me too.
Up there with not asking for help.
Yeah. Oh, we live in that bubble together, baby. I'm not asking for help, and I'm not, because you have to be vulnerable in both of these situations, and that makes me very uncomfortable.
I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. I agree. Uncomfortable is not fun.
No, we don't like uncomfortable. That's why we numb. Tara. Okay. This one is a part of identity and self-worth. For you, if someone that you love or that loves you dearly, so it would be a mutual, wrote down on a piece of paper a description of you, like 5 sentences, and you wrote down the same for yourself, do you think those descriptions would match?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the first part? If they wrote down and I wrote down what?
If you were given an opportunity, it would be someone that you love that loves you back, that's genuine. And they wrote down 5 sentences on a piece of paper that described you as what they see about you emotionally, intellectually, physically. And you did the same for yourself. Do you think those 2 versions would match?
No. Theirs would be a lot nicer than mine.
Absolutely, 100%, without a doubt, agree. I didn't know, though, because you are a therapist.
Yeah, I'm a good therapist for other people. I'm a bad patient.
Yeah, I'm a good nurse and I'm a horrible patient. So
yeah,
that might be a thing. And I see Leanna's on the phone, so I'm going to skip to Nikki and in a minute. Yeah, skip to Nikki, and Nikki, yours is going to be from trust and relationships.
Oh shit.
And my question for you is, do you think it's possible for complete strangers to become instantly feel familiar, like family or love at first sight?
Yes. That's what happened with my husband. I never thought it was possible until I met him. And it was like we had an instant connection, like we knew each other all along.
Like it was just, you should listen to the song I Loved You Before from Melissa Etheridge.
Okay.
You probably have loved him in a past life.
That's what we think too.
Yeah. And Leanne, when you are ready, you can put your thumb up. She's still dealing with work, I am sure. We're going to start. Oh, it's 8:48. Okay. We're going to do a section here that are quick questions. It's here closer to the bottom as we get to the end. Okay. These are what would you do? And I will go up to Gwen, or if Leanne's done. Are you done? No, she's not. Okay, Gwen. If you suspected someone needed help, but they insisted they were fine, would you keep pushing or respect their space?
It depends. If it's a safety issue, I'm gonna push and I'm definitely gonna step in. But if it's not a safety issue, that's kind of, you're an adult, that's your right to do what you need to do. And I'm not gonna overstep you.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's reasonable. And I believe Liam is free. Okay, so I can ask you the deep question. And I'm going to go to okay. If this is about grief and loss, If someone you loved and were super connected to disappeared without answers, do you think uncertainty would be harder than knowing the truth?
Uncertainty. It's the RSD that would kick in very deeply.
You would want to know the truth. Okay.
I would want to know the truth 100% of the way.
Absolutely. Okay. And then Jameson, if you found evidence that could change someone's entire life, would you tell them immediately or make sure you had the repercussions of what that information would do before telling them?
My instinct is to say that I would tell them, like, but sometimes I think it depends on what that information is. Like, I don't know if this is something that is going to change their lives. I feel like that's a thing they need to know. And I'm not the kind of friend that is going to keep that from you. Like, if your man is cheating on you, I'm going to tell you. I don't care what the repercussions are. You need to know that your partner's cheating on you. And I'm not, like, we don't play that game. So I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of something like different than that. But I don't know. I think I would, yeah, I think I would tell them. And
I
then
would
probably be there to help them deal with the
messenger
repercussions of it.
Yeah. They always kill the messenger, but I wouldn't be able to hold back. Karen, if you found evidence, that's the wrong one. I need to scroll. If you could go back and ask one person from your past that you can no longer ask, one unanswered question that you have, what would it be?
Oh, goodness. Oh, I can't. I guess this is oh no, not that question.
It's hard.
It is hard.
It's also emotional.
Yeah.
And you can pass, and I can ask you something different if you would prefer.
I'd like to pass on that one.
Okay, I absolutely understand. That would be hard for me to answer. If someone unexpectedly offered you a completely fresh start in another state or country with an ample amount of money to do it, would you take it right now?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Laura, if you knew someone was carrying unbearable grief but never talked about it, how would you try to support them?
Well, the last person I knew that was carrying that kind of grief, I jumped on a plane and flew to Texas just to be there to make her smile.
It wasn't the last person. You went to PA for your friend's grandfather's funeral. Yeah. Maggie, if you could erase one painful, oh, that was one of the ones that I asked for myself. Okay, here we go. If you could, which aquarium animal do you think would give the best life advice to you?
Fuck.
I know, right?
What this is telling me is I haven't been to aquarium recently enough because I'm having to think really hard.
Well, any aquatic animal, we could do that.
Honestly, like a horseshoe crab because they're old as fuck.
Right? I was also
They're ugly
thinking
as
about
fuck,
turtles live to
but
be like 150. Yeah.
yeah, I think horseshoe crab would be my answer.
Yeah. I think that would be the best option. Natasha, are you available or did you have to step away? Did anybody see in the chat?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh,
I was
good.
getting ready
Okay.
to throw my stuff away.
Oh, Oh, cool. Okay. If the animals are observing inside of an aquarium, which animal do you think observes other people the most and knows everyone's secrets? Which animal do you think it would be that would hold on to that, or that people would go and confess the most to?
Probably octopuses.
You
Octopi.
think?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see that. A lot of people really feel that way. Um, for me, it would be something like a jellyfish where it's super quiet and peaceful, but I can definitely see the octopus. Absolutely. Or if it was a child, something like Nemo or Dory would also be an absorber of information. Udi, if you could spend one night inside an aquarium after closing, which exhibit would you sleep in?
I probably, if they have that like tunnel,
Yes.
that's where I would want to sleep.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. Um, that would be mesmerizing. Um, Tara, I asked you what your favorite aquatic animal is, but which one matches your personality the best?
Whatever, like the grumpiest.
Mm-hmm.
My husband says I'm mean and grumpy all the time, and I'm like, I'm just fucking like raw jogging it through life right now. So
Right,
give me a
Netflix.
break here.
Yeah. Yeah. No, no, no. I totally feel you. I think I would be that blowfish that's in the aquarium when he gets
Oh
upset and he
yeah.
explodes and turns into a giant puffer, like one of those.
Yeah, like whatever can stab you or bite you or like kill you the fastest, that would be
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. Something like that. Like, just get out of my face. I can't deal with it. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Totally understandable coming through the enormous amount of bullshit that you've had to put up with the Cleveland Clinic. At this point, everybody would be at the point like, I just need to stab everyone around me because nobody's listening to me. In fact, when I was at the doctor the last time, recently, I said over and over again, this medicine isn't going to work. It isn't going to fucking work. I finally looked at Gwen like, should I scream at them or should we just leave? And we left. And I went and saw another physician, and the hospital called the next day and said, we're sorry. We messed up. We were wrong. I told you 15 yeah. You know what I mean? Leanne, um, if you could magically become one sea creature yourself for 24 hours, what would you choose?
Part of me wants to say a sea turtle.
Oh, I would love to be a sea turtle. Like Crunch, the little one, or like the dad?
The answer is just yes, because like
Yeah,
you've got the experience of the super long lived,
right.
but just the itty bitty baby thing.
I know, I know. And then Nikki, um, which aquarium animal do you think judges people the most? Based on this book, it would definitely be the octopus, but out of your opinion.
Wait, was that for me?
Yeah,
What was the question? Sorry, Kevin was talking
that's
to me.
okay. Which aquarium animal do you think would judge people the most?
Probably the starfish, because he's just chilling there watching everything all day and barely
Uh-huh.
moving.
Yeah, like these are some fools out here. Uh-huh. Probably also gets tapped on the glass a lot because they don't move a whole lot. Okay. So, one last thing. And everyone's gonna get asked. Oh, I'm supposed to ask myself a damn question. Okay, hold on one second. The last one on here, where did it go? Oh, here it is. If animals could gossip about humans, which species would have the funniest conversation? Um, that is interesting. If animals could gossip about humans, I think raccoons. I think trash pandas. I think they sit around and gossip anyway. Yeah, that would be mine. Okay, so the question for everyone to finish, and I think this is important. It's the only reason why I'm asking it in case somebody here. And we're going to start up with Gwen. One of the biggest themes so far in this book is that people often carry invisible stories and invisible pain. After reading the first 14 chapters, if you have, has it changed the way you think about the strangers you pass by every day? Is there someone in your own life right now you feel inspired to check in on? And have you, or why haven't you?
I get kind of like gut feelings when it's time to check in on someone, my friends and stuff. So, I do that as necessary. Um, what was the rest of the question? That was a very long question.
If there were, yeah, it was just prefacing it. Basically, is there someone in your own life right now that you feel inspired to check on? And they don't
Yeah.
have to be a close friend. It could be like a Facebook friend. You know what I mean?
That's how they become close friends, honestly. A lot of people that I've checked in on randomly, so supposed to in my head.
Yeah.
I do, and then we become best friends, or that's how
Yeah.
you and I met. So
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
we were
James,
Facebook
yeah,
friends, but yeah.
right. Jameson, is there anyone in your life that you feel called upon to check on, and have you, or why haven't you?
I don't think so. I mean, not that I can think of. I talk to the people that I care about pretty regularly, so like I kind of know how my friends are doing. Um, I
Mm-hmm.
do call my mom every day to check on her. Like she's been here recently, but she just went back home for a little while, so I've talked to her twice today because I'm worried about her. But
Yes, absolutely. That's normal and good. And I get that. How about you, Karen? Anybody in your life or rando people that you just get like a feeling I need to check on them?
I have neighbors across the street who've had a really horrible year. Um, and they're in a very dire situation financially and physically. So, um, and I've been helping them since the beginning
Oh,
of the year. Um, so that's been a lot. Though I do find that I need to make boundaries,
yes.
um, because unfortunately I know that they don't have too much support, but sometimes they have to utilize some of their other resources and not just me, because I have a lot of other stuff going on too. So, and I feel
Mhm.
bad saying no sometimes.
I always do. I always do. Um, but I get it. I get it completely. You have to make boundaries because if you can't take care of your stuff, you can't help anybody else. So if it's infringing upon you, then that's when you have to draw the boundary. Although that's really hard for me. So I get that. How about you, Laura? Is there anybody that you're overly concerned for that you feel drawn to like check on? Why and why not?
I do. I have no way to check. My friend Jess, who has been in active addiction and homeless for the last 2 years now. I think we're going on. I have not heard from her or her mother. Probably 4 or 5 months. And I mean, she can't keep a phone. She doesn't show up here anymore because the last time she did it went really badly. Um, so yeah, so as much as I would like to, I just have to sit and wait until she shows her face again or I get that phone call.
It's understandable she brought a dangerous person to your home. So, and you had to drag her out of a dangerous situation and stuff. So I get it. And there's no way to contact. I hate when that happens. It drives me crazy. Maggie, are you available, love?
Yeah, I am.
Is there anybody that you feel drawn to check on, but like either haven't or you have?
I was actually just thinking that I hadn't checked on Jameson in a minute because I made them soup last week and they never came to pick it up. And then they were like, "Oh yeah, my mom went home," and I was like, "Excuse you? I did not know that." So I was just checking in on Jameson and reminding them that they don't get to just disappear for 2 days and not tell me that their life has changed.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. I have to yell at my best friend Angie all the time. I know if I don't get a meme from her once a day, something's wrong. Udi, how about you, love?
I try to check in at least, with the people that I care about most
Yeah, yeah,
and make sure that everybody's okay. But I do slack on some people.
good, good. It's so important. Tara, I'm expecting that the spoons have run out for excess care for anyone at this point because all of your inner fight is on yourself. And I can imagine that might be unbearable. So you may be going against that. So I'm curious what that's like for you as somebody who I know loves to help people, but like you're fighting for, to get well. I wonder if Tara's available. And I just gave her a whole
I'm
spiel.
sorry. I thought you said Karen.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey. No, I was actually talking to you.
Sorry.
But I didn't know where you were at because of how arduous all of this has been, but also knowing your personality.
I try really hard to check in on people like pretty consistently.
Mhm.
And like I'll think about somebody at like 10 or 11 o'clock at night, and I'm like, well, I can't text them now because like I'm gonna seem like a weirdo texting them this late at night. And so then I forget for like days at a time. And then when I finally do, I'm like, oh yeah, I've been meaning to like follow up with you. So what's going on? But I think I check on people pretty often. I feel like I check on people more than they check on me. Um,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
so sometimes that's like really frustrating for me because I'm like the person that I was best friends with up until like the last election
Yes.
time, um, she didn't even reach out at all after my double mastectomy. Like she didn't even say, I'm sorry. Like just wanted to let you know. Like she said nothing. And I was like, you are dead to me now. Like I hate your guts. Not that I was believing there was going to be any sort of like rekindling of our friendship, but if it was the other way around, I would have been like, oh my God, I'm really sorry. Like, if you need anything, let me know. Because to me, like, checking in is more important than whatever happened between you.
Absolutely. I mean, there are some things that are really hard for me. Like I have white coat syndrome, even though I'm a nurse. And I would still preface it with like, this is challenging for me, but I want to be there for you in other ways. And this is what I can offer. I thought maybe I'm trying to give her some grace and like think, well, maybe this is triggering for her. But there's so ways around that. That's bullshit. I don't blame you at all. Mm-mm.
No, she's just a Trump loving asshole.
Yeah, no, that's an asshole move. Also, I have a specific notepad in my phone for when I wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning from a night terror about somebody. This happens often. And I will literally write down in the morning, you need to contact XYZ.
That's a good idea.
Because I'm not messaging somebody at 1 a.m. like, I just had a nightmare about you. And you know what I mean?
Yes, I was going to text somebody recently because I had a dream that she was killed. And I wanted to be like, hey, I was just thinking about you. But when I thought about it, it was like 4 in the morning. I was like, I'm not going to text her and be like, hey, you just died in my dream. I'm a creep.
Yeah, no, I literally do that. It happens too often. Leanne, is there anyone in your life specifically that you feel pulled to check on or have it?
So the ADHD and the object permanence that comes from ADHD, if I'm not talking to you on a very regular basis, my check-in falters very badly. I have a friend in Minneapolis that is going through a cancer issue, and like we talk once every so often, but more times than not, she's calling me, and then I'm going, okay, so how are you doing? Like I'm asking the questions, but she's reaching out to me just
Right.
because it's like asinine o'clock that I go, oh, I should call Liz. Well, I can't do that. She works in the morning.
Yeah. Well, that also, working third shift makes it really difficult to meet up with other people's schedules, especially when you need to
Yes.
sleep.
Yes.
So there's some grace there. And then also, you're right. Like, if I had ADHD, I would have post-its and notes everywhere to remind me to do things. Not that I would actually do them, but I would try somehow. But I get that. I do. Nikki, how about you, love?
There's probably quite a few people that I should check on in more often, but I haven't had the spoons to even check in on myself, and I feel awful about it.
Yeah, very similar. In that situation where you're fighting for help, like things may have made a turnaround, but you fought for so long, you got injured severely, and are still fighting. So like having the spoons it should be people checking in with you.
You didn't see my Facebook message I had sent you, did you?
Yeah, good. And Natasha, how about you? I know this is like part of your career, but on like a personal level.
Outside of like my clients, which I do have some of those that I check in on much more frequently than others. Definitely like one of my closest friends, she lives in New York. She's also my spiritual teacher. I check in with her pretty regularly because she has a lot of mental health struggles, not the greatest living situation. So I check in on her a lot. She does the same though, because she knows I go into my spirals, and if I'm going ghost for too long, she will. If I don't answer, she calls my mom and makes my mom call me. So
yeah.
I definitely have like a very small group that I'm checking in with pretty regularly.
That's good. That's good. I brought this question up. I'm really worried about Danny from book club. I know not everybody knows Danny, but those that do, was going to Duke for some treatment for some really serious long-term autoimmune diseases and has fallen off the planet again. Super worried about that. Could be just summer, could be nothing. I'm deeply concerned for Cicely burning the candle at both ends, who is also in some autoimmune issues. And then Tiff, who was in book club, also concerned about some situations in their life. So I try to reach out to book club people as often as I can. Privately, but those three concern me the most. I don't know. I got weird vibes. So the announcements Laura is going to take over just for a second. It's not anything big. Well, actually, I will, because not everybody's going to the book festival. So we're going to read to the end of Green Leotard. That should be interesting for our next meeting. And we're going to be voting this week if we want to skip next week because people are behind and or because the book festival goes to 6. Who knows if we'll even be there that long. But I'm going to give you an option like on Wednesday when you have more deets on the event. And then Laura, as my assistant, has some information to give you. Sunday 1 for our meetup for the book festival. It is not the most ideal day. However, with Laura's research, I realized, oh my God, this day is jam-packed with as many opportunities as Saturday. And I've always heard Sunday is like the flat day, but it doesn't look like that's happening this year. So go ahead, Laura, and just say what you know.
So we did pick a meetup, a meetup spot, which I believe we're going to post in the group for everybody to meet up at 10 a.m. on Sunday. And the meetup is close to where most of the parking is. There really isn't a schedule of things, but there is a lot of like author talks on Sunday. But there's so many, it was hard to kind of like take a picture to post it. But I'm hoping when we get there that they will have it listed somewhere. They have 2 author stages at the Topiary Garden, which is where most of the festival is based. And there'll be people on and off that all day long. And then as a group, I'm sure we can figure out when we get there where we want to go, who people want to see. And if we want to venture over onto the other side of the library, we can. But the majority, there's only like a couple of booths over by the library. Everything else is at Topiary Park. And there's tons of food and drink all around the park. So
Gwen and I went last year on a Sunday later in the day. All the books had been picked over. So from what I understand, they're managing that this year. They're only putting out so many on Saturday, so many on Sunday. They're not going to put out the full volume. So there will be tons of discounted books still available. I think the earlier we go, but not everybody can get somewhere at 10 a.m. So people will be texting as they arrive. And then, so I know vendors, books, food, and then any authors that we want to check out. I am going to make us buttons again for our little event. And if anybody wants to carpool, because parking will not be ideal. I know Nikki's been several times, or Uber, that like that's the biggest, those are our things. So I'm going to go to the Columbus Public Library this week, probably Tuesday, and get all the information I can. That way we can come up with a really good plan. So that's basically it for the meeting. So I'm going to stop recording if I can on here. Record. Stop recording.